So it's still morning time. Got my coffee.
Morning, guys. So where are we at? So yesterday we got little sister washed down. So now that starts the official 1 month of drying time. Still some little blisters on there, but Stephen's going around and he's just touching those just to try and pop them a little bit. But we're going to get started back on our own projects.
Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my fiance Davy. We are living aboard our new to us hurricane-damaged catamaran, Barefoot 2.0. We met in Fiji 3 years ago and have experienced so many beautiful places together. For the past 2 years, we've made the ocean our home, starting on our Catalina 36 in the States and the Northern Caribbean. We hope to one day circumnavigate the globe, but for now we are fixing our boat one step at a time. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out.
Okay, good morning everybody. So we had a little bit of rain in the night, it's a little bit fresh this morning, but it looks like the weather has cleared up, so I think it's going to be good. So yesterday we were finished up with all the peeling on little sister here. So she's looking at all the peeling, as I say, to what I can actually get to. So there is a few areas that I couldn't get to, and that's just due to the position of the trailer itself. But she's looking pretty good. This area here comes up really obvious. There were so many spots here that had water in, and against the sort of dusty hull, if you will, because this area is huge. You can see all the spots so clearly this morning. And this isn't rain spots, this is a protected area of the boat. It's a dry area. I could see them yesterday afternoon, just didn't film it. Also yesterday afternoon, I didn't actually film because I was working on the inside in here and I just didn't have the camera running. It was so dusty. I had a couple of boys helping us out. So what I've done is I've gone along the edges here just to make it nice and clean, a nice working edge. So I'm gonna have to follow up here today with the grinder, finish up that area and that area. But while I was down here, I did actually start working on the areas, because you can see, like on the other side I just showed you, you can see where the bubbles are. So I do need to take a grinder to those areas, get rid of the small delamination areas. We can fill those areas at a later date, but for the drying process, we want to reveal all of the osmosis as much as possible, which is now possible to do because of the peeling. But here on the inside of the boat, I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick it up, but you see this very white line here? Okay, this is a very large area of delamination due to osmosis. So I have started to grind it back out. It started as just little spots where it was similar to the other side, and this is where the water was trapped inside. So have come to a conclusion as of yesterday. What we're actually going to do is, obviously I'm going to have to rebuild and reglass this area. There's going to be other spots like this on the boat as well. But we have made a decision. We're going to put one full layer of glass on top of this. So after the drying process, once we put a little bit of thickened epoxy on, we will then put just a thin layer of glass, probably a matting of maybe a 6 or an 8 ounce matting on the top, and then continue with the process, using the epoxy to build the boat back up again. So yeah, it's going to be a bigger process than we were hoping for, but we're going to do this job properly and make sure this boat is all fit and well to go back in the water once it's done. So anyway, today I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do another few areas. I'm going to have the camera out today as well. So I'm going to film like I did on this area here while I was trying to spit that out. While I was doing this bit here with the grinding, but I didn't show on camera. Today I'll have the camera on so you can see how clearly it is where the osmosis is and how far I have to grind back. So, but we'll film that on the opposite side where I know it's just as bad as in here. Okay guys, so we keep getting a question in the comments asking, what is osmosis? I know a lot of you guys that are watching these videos, you know what osmosis is, and you may be watching to see the best ways, or whichever ways we're trying to cure the problem on this boat. But just a quick description of it. I'm not going to go massively into depth, but basically what osmosis is when water penetrates through your gel coat, gets into the fiberglass, has a chemical reaction with the chemical structure, if you will, of the fiberglass itself. This causes a chemical which smells like vinegar. You've seen me a few times wipe the hull and smell. It has a very acidic vinegar smell to it. So when the waters come through your gel coat into the fiberglass, made the reaction, and then that reaction causes the blistering, the bubbles. So for example, these bubbles here that you're seeing behind me. I'm not going to show you anymore. I've shown you lots of bubbles already on this boat. But that's the basics of it. It's the water that gets in, causes a chemical reaction, This then gives you osmosis bubbles, which you then have to treat, repair, and then rebuild up. But the biggest key to not getting osmosis is actually having an epoxy barrier coat underneath your bottom paint. This way here, because epoxy barrier coat is actually waterproof, whereas gel coat is not waterproof at all. And it's actually most boats are made of polyester. Polyester, again, it reacts with the water, which gives you the blisters.
And what's the biggest threat of osmosis?
The fly that's on the end of my nose is the biggest threat at the minute. What's the biggest threat of osmosis?
Yeah. Like what could happen if osmosis gets really bad? Why are you fixing it?
So the biggest threat of osmosis is you end up having to do hours and hours and hours of work, and there comes a helicopter. Okay, now that helicopter's gone over, Erica's asking what is the biggest worry with osmosis. The biggest worry with it itself, we've had people comment, why are you putting so much work in? A boat's never sunk due to osmosis bubbles. But at the end of the day, if you don't treat osmosis, it gets worse and worse. The blisters get bigger and bigger, and the fiberglass starts to deteriorate. So that is the problem. If you don't fix it in time, or quick enough, basically, your hull integrity is getting less and less and less. So the longevity of your boat is basically why you want to fix it. You don't want to leave it there for too long. Otherwise, you'll end up like Stephen, and you'll have blisters everywhere.
Hey.
See him sitting there?
Hey.
Guys, well, I'm not going to bore you with showing you me grinding every one of these, I don't know how many thousand blisters there are, but you get the idea. Most of them are just very, very small. You just touch the top and they've gone away, but there are some bigger areas in here that need more attention. But this part here is literally opening it up so it can dry, and then we'll still do some more sanding, some more grinding, and also the repairing in upcoming videos. But that, I think, pretty much leaves it now for Stephen's boat. I'll get the rest of this grinding done. As I said, don't want to bore you. Sanding's too boring to watch on camera.
So it's still morning time. Got my coffee.
Morning, guys. So where are we at? So yesterday we got little sister washed down. So now that starts the official 1 month of drying time. Still some little blisters on there, but Stephen's going around and he's just touching those just to try and pop them a little bit. But we're going to get started back on our own projects.
Yeah, I know you have a list of stuff that you want to fiberglass on the sugar scoop.
Yeah, I've got the sugar scoop. There's lots of different bits on the hull that we need to finish up. We still can't do the keels because we're waiting on jack stands, but apparently they are coming soon.
Sorry, itch.
So we still can't do the keels as we haven't got the jack stands just yet, but Isaac has promised me that they're on the way, so fingers crossed.
Please
Isaac,
keep everything crossed.
if you're watching this, if you're watching this and they haven't been delivered, then you know you need to come talk to me, okay? But anyway, the first project for this morning, so we've actually got a new to us little Mercury engine that we managed to buy off one of the other cruisers here in the harbour, which is fantastic. It's a little 9.9 Mercury 2-stroke. But with the weight, we've got a tiny dinghy. What's she, about 8 feet, 8.5 feet? Tiny little thing.
8 feet with fiberglass bottom, Hypalon, so it is a good dinghy.
It's a good little dinghy, but to get better performance out of it, we're going to be installing these dolphins. So give us, it's easier to get on plane. We get on plane with it, but we don't want to be doing wheelies to get on plane. So that's what we're going to do first this morning. So let's crack on with that little job.
Like I said, put one on backwards and one on forwards, and then you know.
And then we can go but either in reverse or forwards, and it'll work well.
Yep.
Really?
Erica can be a little bit gullible sometimes, so let's make sure she doesn't cut that out when she's doing the editing.
She will.
That made sense though.
I think it makes sense.
There's still no CMs here. I'm getting eaten. I'm trying to check the coffee at the same time. Can I try and put the other one on?
Go, Erica, you can do it.
How does it go?
How's it go?
Like that?
Yeah.
Make sure you do it right side up too.
Yeah, I've done that.
But I pushed yours.
It doesn't matter. I'll realign them.
Do they have to be tightened on?
then I'm going to drill holes through them to actually,
Can
and
you
then bolt
up
them
a
on.
bit? My face is up here.
Your butt, that's what everyone wants to see. I was filming the dolphin.
So you have to drill holes?
Yeah, so we'll line them up, we'll mark it up, we'll drill them, and then we'll install them.
Is that good?
Yeah, that looks good. Another thing, guys, I'm not going to give a massive explanation on why these things are so good and so useful on small dinghies or even in big dinghies. But if you check out Emily and Clark's adventure, actually Clark did a really good video on a whole video just on installing these things. So we'll put a little link for those guys. Say hi from Barefoot if you go and catch up with them. But that's a really good explanation on fitting this stuff.
So one of the reasons we are really, really happy that we got an engine is we have been borrowing an engine for the past...
Yeah, we borrowed from Music and Lyrics, and then we borrowed from Andrew.
Yeah. Because we have a 5 horsepower Mercury.
Really nice one.
Awesome. Very few hours on it. It's great. But it is in Cayman, in storage with all our other stuff.
We have so much stuff because we moved off our old boat, put the stuff into storage, came here, well not here, but Puerto Rico. With hand luggage, expecting to move the boat within a couple of weeks back over to Cayman to do all the work there while we're working.
Well, and even when I went to Puerto Rico, we knew that there was a pandemic. We figured we would be maybe stuck for a couple months. We didn't
even think it would be that long, really.
Yeah, we didn't think it was going to be that long. And then we'd be back in Cayman with all of our belongings. So all of our scuba diving gear, our tanks,
all the stuff, but loads of boat-related stuff. It's literally full up, isn't it?
Our
Plus
drone.
all of your clothes, our photography gear, the good cameras, the drone, everything is stuck in storage, which is actually also a big drain because it's quite expensive to pay for it, and we're not allowed back in the country to go and get it.
Yeah,
so it's just a pain. So if anyone is in Cayman and wants to buy a 5-horse Mercury, let us know.
Yeah, because now we have one here, so we don't really need a second one. I mean, if we do sail back to Cayman, we can keep it as a spare, but...
I mean, storing it, I think would be good with this little one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's an explanation as to why we haven't got half the stuff that we should have, because we did come off the previous boat.
Look how pretty it is. Dun, dun, dun. A dolphin. Hey guys, so I've had a couple comments lately that people say it must be really loud inside the boat when it's being worked on. So Davy's using just a grinder down there right now, and I'm sure you can hear it. It's quite loud. So it's quite comical for me when I'm trying to edit the video and he's using the peeler in the video, and then he's also using the peeler on the boat. So it's really funny because it's so loud. So I normally have my headphones on so I can hear what's going on in there, but then there's background noises. It's so noisy. Just wanted to touch base a little bit. So we could, if we wanted to, we could fly to Cayman, but it's a 2-week quarantine that you have to do in a government facility, and it costs about 4,000 Canadian dollars, which is nearly $5,000 US. So it's just extraordinary amounts of money. We can't afford that at the moment, so we just have to suck it up and pay for the storage locker. I mean, we could get there if we really, really wanted to and do a 2-week quarantine, but it's just not in the budget. So unfortunately, we just have to live with what we got at the moment, and hopefully things will get better soon. So Davy's just getting in the dinghy now. He's going to give the new dolphin fin a test drive. So hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to get up onto a plane. So we'll see what happens. This is our friend Lynn's boat here. We tie our dinghies off to her boat so that they don't go underneath the dock. There's quite a few barnacles on some of the posts and stuff. And again, hers is the boat that's for sale. It's a Bristol channel cutter, if anyone's interested.
Alright, let's give it a test.
He's gonna give it a test drive. Go, babe, go! Look at that speed! Look at that speed!
Much easier.
Yeah?
Okay guys, so I'm going to start working here on the sugar scoop. Now this is some of the area where before I had the peeler, I was using the grinder, and I'm not completely happy. Now we've got the peeler, I do actually want to clean it back more. There's actually a breach here and a breach here, so it's going to be double-sided fixing. But to get the taper that I want, the feathering in, I'm going to definitely need to take this back further. Instead of causing loads and loads of dust with a grinder, I'm going to get the peeler out and give that a go. But one thing I do need to do is repair the peeler first, because we've done, I reckon, I'm guessing 600, 700 square feet of peeling, and the drive belt has gone. So I'm gonna get the peeler out, chuck it on the desk, and let's have a little investigation. It did come with spare parts, so let's see if we can get the peeler back up and running again. Right guys, looks like we've had a little bit of a camera issue this afternoon. That's just the way it is when we're relying on just the one dying GoPro. But anyway, I still want to talk you through what I've done this afternoon, due to the fact that it's come out absolutely beautiful and I'm so happy with it. So let me turn this microphone around and I can show you. So I've done the repair here on this side of the sugar scoop. So as you can see, I got 4 repairs, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the way I did this, I have laid up 6 layers of 8-ounce matting on each repair. So, and they're all in slightly different sort of positions and angles, if you will. So it's like using biaxle. I haven't got any biaxle left, but on each one of them there was, yeah, all those different layers laid up at different angles. So it's basically the same, and it built it up beautifully. Once I'd done that, I've used that, it's probably difficult to tell, maybe you can see on the corner here, but I've laid over the whole repair, I've laid up 1 layer of matting over the top. So instead of it being 4 repairs, yes, it's still 4 repairs, but they've been tied together with a layer of matting. Once that matting has gone on, all weathered out beautifully, no air bubbles, nothing else, it's really gone on nicely. Then what I've done, there was a couple of small spots on each of the repairs that were just a tiny bit deeper than I would have liked. So I've just put a little skim of the adhesive filler, epoxy filler. So now it is going to be ready. Once this cures and dries, it's still tacky at the moment, it just finished the job. Once this is cured, it'll just be a very light sanding over the top and it'll be ready for fairing filler. Anyway, so guys, just wanted to show you that. Again, apologies it didn't get all put on camera, I was trying to film it for you. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Looking forward to throwing something back out for you on Wednesday. We've got loads of projects going on our boat at the moment, so we're just gonna keep cracking on and yeah, keep producing lots of videos for you. So thanks again guys, see you soon.